What if I told you your life is not changing because you are waiting for a big moment, but success was always hiding inside small action? One workout, one page, one decision, one uncomfortable conversation, one early morning. That's how empires begin. And in the next few minutes, you're going to understand why the people who win in life are not the most talented. They are the people who master tiny steps. And if you stay until the end, I'll show you the psychological trick that can rewire your brain to make discipline feel automatic. Most people destroy their dreams before they even begin. Not because they're lazy, not because they're incapable, but because they think success must happen fast. We live in a world addicted to instant results. Lose weight in 7 days. Get rich overnight. Become successful immediately. But life doesn't work like that. Nature doesn't rush. A tree doesn't become massive overnight. A river cuts through rock slowly. Even mountains are built grain by grain. Yet somehow, we expect our lives to transform instantly. And because the results don't come immediately, people quit. But here, the terrifying part. The difference between successful people and average people is often just 6 months of consistency. That's it. Let me ask you something. If you improved your life by just 1% every day, do you think it would matter? Most people say no. But they're wrong. Because small actions compound. 1 page a day becomes books completed. 1 workout becomes a transformed body. 1 video becomes a career. $1 invested becomes wealth. Success is rarely explosive. It's invisible until suddenly it's undeniable. And that's why people miss it. Because growth is silent in the beginning. The gym is empty in January's second week for one reason. People underestimate tiny progress. But the people who keep going, they become unrecognizable within a year. Here's the problem. Small steps feel insignificant. Your brain craves drama. It wants massive change, huge motivation, life-changing moments. But real transformation is boring. That's the truth nobody posts online. Doing push-ups when nobody's watching. Studying when your friends are partying. Saving money instead of wasting it. Waking up early repeatedly. It's repetitive, but repetition creates identity. And identity creates destiny. You don't become confident by thinking confident thoughts. You become confident by keeping promises to yourself repeatedly. That's why small habits matter. Because every tiny action casts a vote for the person you are becoming. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you the story of a man who changed his entire life with just 2 minutes a day. There was a man who wanted to get in shape. He failed repeatedly. Every Monday, he promised himself, "Tomorrow I'll work out for 2 hours." And every Tuesday, he quit. Until one day, he changed the strategy completely. Instead of forcing himself to do intense workouts, he made one tiny commitment. Just go to the gym for 2 minutes. That's it. 2 minutes. Sounds ridiculous, right? But something incredible happened. Because once he showed up, he usually stayed longer. And even on the days he did, he still built the identity of someone who never misses. That identity changed everything. Because the hardest part of success is not the work. It's starting. People think successful people are constantly motivated. They're not. They just learned how to move without motivation. That's power. Because motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Motivation says, I'll do it when I feel ready. Discipline says, I do it whether I feel ready or not. And the beautiful thing about small steps is this: they reduce resistance. Reading one page feels easy. Doing one push-up feels easy. Writing one sentence feels easy. But once you begin, momentum takes over. And momentum is dangerous. Because once your life starts moving forward, everything changes. Imagine two people. One improves daily. The other delays daily. At first, no visible difference. 1 month later, still barely noticeable. But after years, one lives with freedom. The other lives with regret. That's the compound effect. Tiny decisions repeated consistently create massive outcomes. Your life right now is the accumulation of repeated habits. Not luck, not fate, not magic. Habits. And the powerful part, that means your future can change. Starting today. Starting small. But wait until you hear this next idea. Because this single mindset shift has transformed Olympians, billionaires, and world-class performers. The people who achieve greatness are not obsessed with results. They're obsessed with routines. That's the secret. Champions fall in love with repetition. The writer writes daily. The athlete trains daily. The entrepreneur learns daily. Not because it's exciting every time, but because consistency creates mastery. And mastery creates freedom. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So stop asking, how do I change my whole life? Instead ask, what small action can I repeat daily? That question changes everything. Because one tiny habit can create a domino effect powerful enough to transform your entire identity. One healthy decision often leads to another. You wake up early, so you feel productive. So you eat better. So you work harder. So you feel proud. So you become more disciplined. That's the domino effect. Success builds success. But failure works the same way too. One bad habit becomes another. That's why tiny choices matter more than dramatic moments. Your future isn't built in one day. It's built daily. Every action whispers a message to your mind. This is who I am. And eventually, your brain believes it. But there's one final truth most people never realize until it's too late. 1 year from now, the time will pass no matter what. The question is, will you arrive stronger or full of excuses? Because the days are moving whether you act or not. The clock does not care about procrastination. And one of the saddest feelings in life is realizing you could have transformed your life if you had simply started earlier. Not perfectly, just consistently. Imagine where your life could be if you started today. 1 workout daily, 1 hour learning, 1 step toward your dream. 365 days later, you wouldn't recognize yourself. Listen carefully. You do not need to become a different person overnight. You do not need perfect motivation. You do not need massive breakthroughs. You only need one thing: the courage to take the next small step. That's it. Because greatness is not born in giant moments. It's built quietly, when nobody applauds, when nobody notices, when nobody believes in you yet. Small steps, repeated daily. That's how ordinary people become extraordinary. So starting today, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop underestimating tiny progress. Stop quitting because results are slow. Instead, Take the step. Read the page. Do the workout. Make the call. Start the dream. Because small steps become big results. And one day, you'll look back and realize the little things were never little. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who's about to give up. And remember, your future is created by what you do repeatedly, not occasionally. Now go build the life you deserve.